Hi, my name's Jim Keane. I'm an Assistive Technology Specialist with Disability Services at the University of Hull. This video tutorial will look at a piece of software called Inspiration and its basic use. Within the tutorial, we'll look at what assistive technology is in general, then we'll move on to look at Inspiration 8, and finally we'll demonstrate the software, and you'll have an opportunity to use the software too. As its name suggests, assistive technology is any form of technology that helps its user work more effectively. Not only those with a disability can benefit from assistive technology, most forms of it can help everybody. And whilst not all assistive technology is in the form of software, this is the focus of this introductory session. Inspiration is a mind mapping tool that allows users to plan, research and complete projects, working with either an interactive diagram or a text-based outline. Inspiration facilitates gathering and structuring ideas, opinions and knowledge about a particular task, document, presentation or project. It breaks down the blank page problem by allowing you to start by gathering any thoughts you have about a subject, then organising those thoughts as a separate task. This is achieved by the use of several tools. Let's see those tools in action. Every time I left click or hold down the left mouse button, you'll see a white circle appear with a red centre. Every time I right click or hold down the right mouse button, you'll see the white circle appear again, but this time it will have a purple centre. When you first start up Inspiration, you're presented with the Inspiration Starter screen. This screen allows you to pick how you want to work. You can either work in a diagram view, an outline view or a mind map. Today we're going to concentrate on the first two views, particularly the diagram view, so we'll click on and through there. Okay, when you first load up Inspiration, you'll get a page that looks something like this. You'll have the main idea bubble just in the main centre there. Now, I mentioned before that this helps us get past the blank page problem, and what I'm talking about here, if I move to Word, is that thing where you load up Word and you think, what am I going to write here? Now if you're quite smart, you might add your name. If you're even smarter, you might type the title. Maybe even add your student number. Then you'll just look at that blinking cursor for a bit, thinking, what am I going to write here? Now, Inspiration helps us get past that problem. What we do here is we just put in our basic idea. So I'm going to use the example of making a cup of tea. Once you've entered your main idea, it's time to start adding some more ideas to it. And these are just anything that you associate with the topic. And to do that, we're going to use the rapid fire tool up here on the main toolbar. So I'll click on there and you'll get a little red thunderbolt after your symbol here. Now all I'm going to do is start typing away. So I'll just type away anything that occurs to me. So tea bags, and I press the return button after that. That's just the one on the right hand side of the keyboard, the one that you'd press to get a new line in Word. Milk, water, and notice every time I'm hitting the return key, the key you'd normally press to do a new line, it's giving me a new symbol. After a while you'll have quite a few symbols on your screen and it'll start to look like a bit of a mad spider. Just click away from it and the red thunderbolt will go. Now we're going to move on to the next stage. Normally you just stop when you run out of ideas about a topic. And at this stage we're going to start organising our information into things that belong together. So I'm going to pull kettle over here. I'm going to put mug next to it. I'm going to put tea bags down here. And milk next to that. And sugar next to that. Water also needs to be there. And brew and stir, they can stay together up here. So I've got things which are sort of actions or processes up here, utensils over here, and ingredients over here. Whilst that's quite neat and starting to make a bit more sense to me, it would be better if they were organised together under subheadings. So I'm going to click back on my main idea. I don't need to double click on it, just single click. And then I can go to the Create tool here. Note how when you hover over part of the Create tool, it glows green in a different section. Now this is because it allows me to create a symbol relative to the idea I've got selected, in this case the main idea, on here. So if I click it going over to the right here, I get a symbol coming out of the right of main idea. And I'm going to call this symbol Ingredients. I'll drag that down near to these guys here. Now what I want to do is hang the ingredients from the ingredients subheading. Now to do that I need to move these links. So here if I click on the arrow, you can see as I click on one of the arrows, each arrow gets a box at its tip and at its root. Now if I just clicked at the root, I wouldn't know which of those arrows I got until I started moving it. Now because I want to move the arrow for water, I'll click at the arrowhead, then when I click at the base it will select that one. And can you see how I get little grey boxes all around here? In the same way I can get little grey boxes all around the perimeter of ingredients. So if I drag it over one of those boxes and release, the arrow will move. I'll do that again with sugar. And with tea bags. Now if we look up here on the main toolbar, we can see that the outline tool is available to us. If I click on there, the entire display will change. And now we can say making a cup of tea at the top, but down at the bottom all of the symbols are listed where they should be. So under ingredients I can see water, sugar and tea bags. Now milk is still adrift up here. So if we go back to the diagram view, and I'll just bring the diagram back to the center of the display so you can see it. Now if I connect milk as it should be connected and go back to the outline view, you should see everything is going to be displayed as it should be, and it is. Back in the diagram view, and I've added in another subheading for process and utensils, and I've moved the links around as I did with ingredients. Now there's starting to appear a bit more semblance of order here, however it's still very difficult to understand because it just still looks like a big green squashed spider. Now the one thing I should say is that if you find white a difficult background to work with, just right click and go to background colour and change it to something a bit more bearable. So right click, background colour and something a bit more bearable.